we couldn't get the race in tonight to be. Stu was not able to make it tonight. He was lined up to broadcast this one. Just didn't happen for him. A quick, everybody keep the people that were affected by the hurricane in their minds. Um, Stu's fine, but kind of the repercussions of that is what caused him to be away tonight, just with the power outages and all that. So, is there anything? It was a legitimate full race. Winner tonight, kind of weird because we get to announce it on stream. Nobody saw it. But the all-time Ruthless Racing wins leader gets another one here tonight at WWT. Typical RRS in victory lane. First next-gen race at WWT for Ruthless Racing. I think Typical might have ran the last won the last WWT race we ran here in this series back a couple seasons ago in the old cars. I think he's also the only winner at this track in the Pro Series. So didn't get the sweep tonight. He won the pole. This is gonna, get him farther ahead in that pole award. We'll see it tonight. Stage 1 and Stage 2, we have kind of filled with cautions. Nothing crazy, but talk to us about how you got through, Stage 1 and Stage 2. How was your strategies going for those?
Well, it was very caution fest, Me and Tyler were just battling it out in the front for most of the time. And then me and him were side by side. I wish the stream could have saw it, but we were going to 3 and 4 side by side, and he just nosed in front of me a little bit. And he was able to steal that stage away from me. Would have been nice to get it, but the Stage 2, kind of just the same thing, caution fest. And then people took no tires. I was on the outside on fresh tires, and he just stacked up the field, and I was able to drive away and get that one. And then Stage 3, no cautions actually. I was very surprised and grateful. I like this track. It's a really good rhythm track, and once I find my rhythm, I make good track time and I'm consistent. But I got all my time on pit road. Parley and McLevin, they were pretty equal with me on pace. But after the first pit stop, somehow I was able to come out in front of them and gain a couple tenths too. It wasn't just equal. And I was able to get the fresh tires and just run my line, put some good laps in.
Yeah, so you're eligible to get picked up by a team. We'll have to see how the points shake out. But it looks like you might be heading over to JGR, potentially.
Oh,
so how do you feel about that, potentially? And how do you feel about any other team picking you up?
I would always prefer to get picked up in a Ford, but I don't, we'll see.
Well, I
It'd
think
be
if you
good
do
to have a
go,
good. I know. Good.
I think if you do go to that JGR team, that Titan scooped up that 45 car, so there's no more Yodas left to use.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Put me in a Ford, man. Put me on Team Penske.
I don't know. They had the 44 already. We'll see. Anyways, congratulations. Near sweep of the race tonight. Either way, pretty, no hate to Parley and McLevin, but it was clear that you were the favorite tonight, and you kind of went out there and showed it in that last race or that last stage. With those no cautions, I feel like that really played into your favor of just being able to run really good lap times. And I feel like it was
And
just a
strategies
track.
helped me out too.
Yeah, and I mean it was just a track position race as well.
Yeah.
Huge track position race, and that's kind of what's cool about these bigger fields is it comes down to having to make good decisions on pit road, and not make mistakes throughout the race. We saw Tyler, who we were talking about, have a really fast car tonight, qualified second. Obviously contested you for that stage, and then kind of buried himself in his own grave in Stage 2 when he spun out. So,
Yeah,
That,
he had a really good car. I think if he didn't spin himself out, he would have been somewhere up there close to me. But
yeah, he
unfortunately
would have
for him,
definitely
he had
been
a good car.
contending for a podium, but that's how it goes. You got to run a clean race to stay up there. So, anyways, congratulations to you, Typical. Second win of the season. I think you're the first repeat winner in the series.
Oh yeah, 2 for 3.
Back-to-back wins. And we're moving on to Kansas. Probably not one of your favorite tracks, but
Ah shit.
you'll be up
Well,
front.
the streak was good while it lasted.
And then we're gonna move on to our second place finisher. Was it Parley or McLevin? Don't remember. I think it was McLevin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. McLevin, you got kicked off your team.
Yep.
A little bit of a
Replaced by
revenge.
Typical.
A little bit of
Rumor going around the garage.
yeah,
There you
maybe.
go.
A little bit of a revenge game though. Come out here, get yourself a P2. I finished right next to you in stage 1. I think you got 7th. And then I don't really know where you finished in stage 2, but decent overall points day. I know this is only your second race this season. It's probably gonna be tough for you to make the playoffs at this point in time, but I mean, coming out here looking for wins, if that's a scenario, right? You're coming out here trying to race as best as you can. Brought it home P2, so that's a feat in itself. So kind of talk us through your race. How did and where do you think you lost a little bit of time to Typical? I don't really know what the gap was either. I'd be interested to know what the gap was from first to second.
So at the end, it was a pretty big gap, and
Okay.
that was just because Typical, I think, was way more consistent than either me or Parley were, to be completely honest. I felt like that first run of stage 3, we had, I wouldn't say as good a pace as him, but we were able to, kind of stay within range to maybe have a shot until that pit stop he made where he got like 3 seconds on us, and then from there he was just able to stay consistent while me and Parley battled. But stage 1 went well until the end there. I kind of got used up for P3 and then kind of fell back a little bit. I don't know exactly where I finished. It might have been 7th around you. And then kind of the same thing. Stage 2, I was like 10th and then drove back up the 2nd there, the end of that stage. I think I might have finished 3rd or something, though. I think I remember hitting the wall. And just, yeah, short. Stage 3 had a great battle pretty much with Parley after Typical just put a whooping on us on those pit entries and just being consistent. That's just congratulations to him on being so smooth. Was fun battling with Parley through traffic the rest of the stage, and was able to bring home P2 there, and just had a really good fun time, man. Like I said, I know I'm probably not here for points or be able to make a lot of the races, but when I do show up, typically the racing is really good and competitive, and it was good to come out here and have a good showing, especially with like no practice. I literally just went with the setup I had in the car and decided to run 10 minutes before the race. So it was good to come out here and have a good result and show that I'm not, completely washed. But I'm glad I could race with these guys and have a good time. And I appreciate you putting on the league, man. And like you said, thinking about everyone with the hurricane that just hit in North Carolina and everywhere else.
Yeah, brother. Kansas is up next. I kind of think that's one of your favorite tracks. Am I wrong?
It is not one of my favorite tracks, but I'm
Oh, I
typically
am
really
wrong.
good there. My car is pretty
You
good
do
there.
run good there. That's, I guess, what I
Yeah.
was trying to say. But, well, I hope you can make it next week. Congratulations on the podium, runner-up. And, I don't know. I don't remember. Was it showed up for Vegas? I don't know how many points you got. You might, there's a lot of people running this league, so it's like, a couple good runs moves you up in the standings a lot. So we'll have to see how the points shake out after this, after I get them done, and I don't know, you might have a shot. Anyways, thank you for showing up, McLevin. And we're gonna move on to our third place finisher, Parley. Parley, the number 1 overall pick in the draft, by me. Brought it home P3. From my eyes, I feel like you kind of just got caught in the stuff a little bit. Kind of started those first 2 stages a little bit behind the leaders, and then I wasn't really up there for stage 3. I wanted to ask you guys too. Was that a 4 tire twice call from all you guys?
Yeah, I would say so. I think
Okay.
so.
I think that stage ended up being longer than it was supposed to be because we had that caution at the end of stage 2 or something. I don't know. It's my strategy did not work. Anyways, back to you. Kind of talk us through your race. What did you feel like your car needed to maybe go up there and catch the 10 or the 34? And it's good to see you back up here in the booth too.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I had a pretty good car, long run car. Felt good. I don't have a qualifying, so usually I do start in the middle and just kind of find my way up, whether it's through maybe a few mistakes, so just kind of sneak in. Um, and when I'm out with the leaders, I feel pretty good once I can start running my line. Um, Felt like I had the pace for Tyler, but he had an insane pit road entry. I tried to undercut, and he gained like 2 seconds. And I was hoping by doing that, I would also maybe get ahead a little bit more of McLovin. And then I was just kind of that whole time I was at that disadvantage where like one lap older tires than McLovin, so I knew Tyler was gone. I was just kind of battling McLovin for that P2. But got through traffic okay. I mean, going into turn 1, you're gonna have a couple of those bumps, but I mean, overall, it was a really fun race. I had a good point night. I think it finished top 5 in both stages, and the P3, like that's gonna be pretty good. WWT is not my favorite track. It is fun, but I'm excited to get that one out of the way.
Yeah, this one kind of got put on the schedule because we just haven't ran it in a while. I know it's not everybody's favorite track, but we got to throw some things out there to challenge the drivers of this league. We had, we say stage 1 and stage 2 were a caution fest, but they were, they're 20 lap stages, so you get 2 or 3 cautions and the stage is gone, right? I mean, you get 25 cars on track, and especially at a short track like this where there's heavy braking zones, that stuff's going to happen. So I thought the league did a pretty good job. We kind of figured it out by stage number 3 and, ran that one legitimate without a ton of stuff happening there. So it was a good race by everybody, good race by the guys that are finishing the podium. Again, Stage 1 winner was Tyler. Stage 2 winner was Typical. Typical also took the pole and the race win. Second place finisher was McLevin in the 34 car, not scoring points for JGR. And then Parley brings it home in third place, rounding out the podium here from WWT. Again, this was not broadcasted. I'm going to clip the race. Dang, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I can. I don't know if it's going to download. I might not clip the race. There's a few streams that we will post of drivers and their in-cars if anybody's interested in watching the race to kind of see how everything went. But, I tried to make sure that these guys get the recognition for running at the top of this field. We can actually go through the top 10 real quick. That way those drivers get their recognition as well because they ran a great race tonight. Typical, McLevin and Parley, 1, 2, 3. Dan the Man brought it home 4th. Haybale brought it home 5th. That's your top 5. Then you got Kari, Showstopper, Kenrod, Crimson, and Shepard, 6 through 10. Kari, Showstopper, Kenrod, Crimson, Shepard. So, for everybody that's tuned into this tonight, thank you. Unfortunately, we didn't get this race broadcasted, but we'll be back live from Kansas next week. The Pro Series will be going over there, running the night race. We'll see everybody ripping the fence, probably see some slide jobs and some fuel management over there during that race. So that'll be a fun one. Anybody got any shout-outs? Anything else they want to say? Or are we good to go?
Shout out JCR Titans, the GOAT.
JCR Titans did not complete the race, but he was in it.
He lagged out.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I know he was really looking forward to this track. He told me how much he loved this racetrack.
Yeah. Yes, totally. Once he figured out the right gear to be in, and then he was good. But someone had to tell him first. What an idiot!
Help out if you can. If you're in that area and you're affected by the hurricane, please stay safe. And I hope. I know it's a tough situation right now, but I hope everything works out for you in the end. So, y'all have a good night. Remember to tune in, next Thursday for the Pro Series, but also next Wednesday for the GT7 series. I don't know exactly what track they're out, but I think they're back in the GR3s this week. So, little GR3 BOP action over there. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next week.